Hi everyone, how have you all been? It's great to see you again. I almost the microphone was enabled, but the sound bars, the levels weren't showing up, so I was like, "Uh-oh, what's going on?" Then I realized there's a mute button on this microphone right here. Look at that. You can see it's blue right now, but when I touch it and then it comes back on. All right, so how have you guys all been? Let's see. One of you, who said it? Said he lives or he's here or he's alive. Who said that? Oh, there we go. It's I hate anime. What do you mean I'm alive? Of course I'm alive. Uh, yeah. Just I'm gonna let you guys quickly know. New microphone here. As you can tell, I'm trying this out because I've used this microphone for the last 10 years, I think now, or almost 10 years if you can see it. It's just, let's see, can you see it? Just about, yeah. It's a Rode NT USB microphone, and I've used that for so many years. And I've always been curious what would happen if I upgrade my microphone. So a lot of people use Shure microphones. You see podcasters use types like this a lot. And I don't know if you are noticing the sound difference or if it always sounded this like this to you before. Um, I'd certainly be curious for your, and I would like to know your guys' feedback. So let me know if you notice a big difference between this and the previous microphone, or if it is exactly the same. Yeah, just let me know. Fireboy says, nice new microphone. Electrifies here says, how you doing today? I'm doing very good, buddy. Thanks for joining the stream. Ethan's drawings as well. Thanks very much. Big Bash says, the legend has arrived. Sounds good. Sounds good. Eric, what have you seen? Have you seen The Cell with Vincent D'Onofrio? I've not seen it, but I've seen some reviews of it. Both mics sound good. That's good. I've disabled the other one. The mic sounds good. Both mics sound good. A little different, says Tenrex. Does it sound a little different? Khan says it sounded pretty much the same, but the quality is pretty good, actually. Oh, okay. Hi, Jess. Yeah, I did my Super Mario Galaxy trailer reaction recently, and that's the first time I used this microphone in a video that I published. So if you want to see me use the microphone in a trailer reaction, head on over to my Patreon or YouTube memberships, and you should see the Super Mario Galaxy trailer reaction. And I talked a lot about it, and I used this microphone for the first time. Eric, have I seen the news? No, I've not seen the new Frankenstein movie yet. I want to, but I haven't yet. Very busy. I'm going to be doing a versus video of the Zootopia movie when it comes out. I think it's coming out this week, is it? Or is it near the end of the month? So before I do that, I'm working on a bunch of other scripts. I've almost finished my monkey script finally for the monkey review, so that's almost done. And then when I finish doing the monkey review, I've also got the K-pop Demon Hunters review, which I'm already working on. Sarah just so happened to pop in when I said monkey. I was gonna do a lot of monkey jokes, but honestly, I did not really think of any as I was writing the script. So it's more of an analytical video. If you saw my carry video, I did a ton of jokes in that one because they just naturally came to me. But the monkey jokes, they weren't really coming to me, bizarrely, as I was writing this script. So we'll see what I do, but don't be surprised if there are no jokes in there. I don't want to force monkey jokes, but they just weren't coming to me when I was writing this script, which is, interesting. And that normally means that the jokes can't be done organically if they're not coming to me. Okay, you guys are clearly better at this than I am. Sarah's like monkey pee all over you. That sounds like a golden monkey for sure. That's for sure. Zootopia 2 comes out on the 28th of November. Yeah, so we've got about just under 2 weeks essentially. That's when I'll be doing a versus. But before that, what I'm going to do is what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Yeah, Sarah, you've made it, which is great. Sorry, it's the end of the day. My mind slows down at this point. But basically, yeah, I thought before then I'm gonna do a bunch of other videos. I'm working on one versus video, which if you're on my Discord and you were on our watch party, I actually told you guys what it was. Um, but I'm gonna be working on that here and there. But I'm also working on a bunch of smaller videos, which I want to try to do, topical videos. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to accomplish it, but I'm going to try. And I'm going to be using this microphone when I do it. So, yeah, I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet, but I'm going to be doing a bunch of smaller videos. and I'll be putting it up. I'm also going to be making a second YouTube channel as well to put other videos on there for you guys to see, and you'll definitely want to subscribe because I'm also thinking of doing commentary videos on my Versus videos. So I'll go through what it was like making the Versus video, what I was going to do when editing the Versus video, some of the stuff I deleted, some of the stuff I mentioned. So I'll be going through it, and we'll have a nice long commentary which you can watch by going to that second channel. I'll let you guys know when I make it. Big Bash my week was actually very good. Big Bash also says looking forward to those. Uh I Anime says we get future video ideas first. Hee hee. You do actually. I've actually been opening up more about some of my future plans for videos I'm gonna do. I even told people on the Discord about the second channel idea back when we did our Monster House watch party. So if you guys really do want to get like some tea on what I'm going to be doing in the future of this channel, the Discord is another place where you'll get that. On the watch parties, I usually tend to you guys tend to have me at a point where I'm very open to tell you guys some of my plans. Let's see. So yeah, Dark Lord is here. Great to see Sarah here. She's made it in this stream. It's always much better when she's here. Well, it's great. It's much better when you're all here. Let's see. I Hate Anime is great to see you, Jess. Billy, it's great to see you. I've not seen you on the Discord call in a while. Great to see you. I don't know if you jumped in at any point during our watch parties, but it would be great to actually see you down there. We're going to be a week from now, we're going to be doing a watch party on Chicken Run, which is something that Sarah actually suggested on one of our video calls. Not on our video calls, it's on our watch parties, yeah. On the video call on the watch party, she recommended that we do Chicken Run for Thanksgiving. And that's actually a very good idea. So that's what we're going to be doing on closer to Thanksgiving. So we're going to be watching Chicken Run. So if you want to join that watch party, be sure to head on over. Oh, Billy says she's been drowning in homework and work. Oh, that's okay. That's understandable. That's totally understandable. But hopefully, I look forward to seeing you again. It's always great to have the Discord family over. Okay, now Billy did ask me something else. What did she say? Eric, if I commission you for a Zootopia 2 versus Return to Zootopia comparison, will you wait for Zootopia 2 to come out to digital, or would you do it as soon as you can? I'd probably wait for it to come out on digital. I don't like to usually make versus videos of trailer footage, but I usually have no choice, usually, especially if the movie just came out. But I think I would probably wait for the movie to come out and then I would do it. That way I can show scenes if I need to, and I can use full-on movie footage rather than recycling trailer and clips footage, whatever Disney has available. So I'll probably wait and do it that way. But let me know if you want me to do it sooner. I'll consider doing it sooner. What even is Return to Zootopia? I don't think I've heard of that. Let me see. Is it a TV show? Oh, it's a film. It says, wow, I didn't even know this existed. A 2017 movie. 2 hours. Oh, the animation is not proper animation, at least from that image I see. Yeah, it almost looks like a motion book. I gotta say, it looks quite nice. It looks like a lot of watercolors. I don't know if you'll be able to see on my phone if it's too bright or not. I think it's too bright. Let me bring the brightness down. But it looks like it's got a lot of, you see that? A lot of, oh damn it, I hate that. Looks like it's got a lot of watercolors. That actually looks really nice. What do you guys think? That actually looks really good. By the way, another watch party. Sarah says she'll be back. I don't know if she means on the live stream or if she means on the watch party. But another watch party that Sarah suggested was, we were all chatting about movies at the time because we did a Monster House watch party. And one of the movies that came up, as well as Chicken Run and Coraline, another movie that came up was The Polar Express, which was a movie that I watched as a kid. I've not seen it since. We're going to be watching that as well as part of the watch party as we get nearer to Christmas. So seriously, if you want to be joining in on these watch parties when we do it, then all you got to do is head on over to my Patreon, join the Discord perk, and then you'll have access to it. And like I said, I am going to be raising the prices of the watch party perk because that was always the intention, but I'm just leaving it on the current Discord perk right now, just so you guys know what these watch parties are like. And then I'm going to up it. So make sure you get in there now if you want to really enjoy the watch parties early before I take the the price of the watch parties to the higher perk that I always intended it to be. So let's see. Big Batch's Polar Express is a classic. Yeah, I thought it was okay when I saw it as a kid. I loved the main theme for it, and I loved parts of it too, like the intro. We were talking about this, and Sarah even mentioned as well. I loved the intro of how the whole movie opens. It was so special and really nice. The movie didn't maintain that from what I can remember, but I am looking forward to watching it again, especially with you guys, because I've not seen that movie in years. But the Polar Express, that'll be a really fun one to watch with you guys. That'll be closer to Christmas, so maybe that'll be the watch party after Chicken Run. We'll probably do that. The score in the Polar Express was, yes, it was by Alan Silvestri, wasn't it? Yeah, he did the Avengers Infinity War, he did Avengers Endgame. He also did the first Captain America movie, the first Avengers film, and he's also done plenty of other soundtracks like Back to the Future, 1, 2, and 3, the first and second Predator film. He's done a lot of amazing soundtracks to his name, so it'll be great to see that again. Okay, no problem. Thanks for letting us know, Sarah. I appreciate that. We'll see you when you get back. A lot of Christmas movies are releasing in my local cinema. Yeah, they actually are releasing some Christmas movies in our local cinema too. So it's coming to that time now. They recently did some Halloween movies in my theater as well. Some classic Halloween movies. Aman Shield says, "Have you seen Solo Leveling?" I don't know what that is. Batman's Gamer, great to see you, bud. Really is great to see you. Let's see. Spirit Hero says, "It doesn't snow where I live, but it's been raining like crazy." Yeah, it's been raining like crazy here as well. And when it's not raining, it looks very miserable, the weather. So what's the weather like in your guys' location? I'm in the UK, so I wonder what it's like for you guys. Is it just as bad for you guys? 10 Rex says, "It's not even Thanksgiving, but I don't think it's a thing in the UK." It's not. It's a thing in America. But hey, a lot of my audience the majority are from America, so I'm going to be doing it in honor of you guys, even though we don't do Thanksgiving. In LA, we're expecting flooding. Ooh, be careful there, buddy. Take care of yourself. It's a thing in Canada. Oh, okay. I'm kind of not surprised about that. Alex Narnia, great to see you here as well. 10 Rex is great. It's Diego the movie nerd is great to see as well. Off topic, I'm excited if you do a Willy Wonka versus video in the future, but you should do Curse of Chucky versus Cult of Chucky versus video in the future. Diego, I think you commented this. I think it was on either my It review for the Welcome to Dairy show or my Carrie versus video. You've mentioned this, I've responded to you, but you probably haven't seen it. I said I will be doing a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory versus Willy Wonka versus video one day, but probably not the Curse of Chucky. I don't think I'll be doing that. But I will be doing definitely the Willy Wonka versus Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I've always been opposed to doing that versus video, but now I think I'm ready to actually do it. So at some point I'll try to get to that as well. So yeah. Billy says, "We have no weathers here. We just have hot, inferno, warm, and slightly slightly temperate one day in December." I think you mean a slightly tempered day in December, maybe? Did you saw that we're getting Gremlins 3 in 2027? I did, and I'm really looking forward to that, especially because Chris Columbus is writing and directing. Although we had another director, I think, for the previous two, but I think Chris Columbus wrote it. But what was the name of the director originally who directed it? I usually remember his name, but I forgot it this time. Joe Dante, that was it. Joe Dante. Oh, he made The Howling as well. That's interesting. He also directed an episode of, I think it was The Flash at one point. So yeah, he's not coming back, which is interesting because he had a dark edge to him. But Chris Columbus technically has that dark edge to him as well. So I hope he comes back and, gives us that. And yeah, Robin says, "Did you hear that they changed the name of the 2026 Mummy movie because of the announcement of the new Brendan Fraser Mummy?" Did they change the name of that Tom Cruise Mummy movie? What did they change it to? Name change. Oh, it says the Tom Cruise Mummy movie was not renamed, but excuse me, but there is a separate upcoming reboot that is rumored to be retitled The Resurrected to distance itself from the Mummy franchise. So it's an upcoming reboot of the Mummy, but they're calling it The Resurrected to distance itself from the Mummy franchise starring Brendan Fraser. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I don't know why they're trying to make another Mummy movie, like even though they're already making one with Brendan Fraser. It makes no sense that. Robin says no. It's a new Mummy movie coming out in 2026 by Warner Brothers. Good. Okay, I thought it was from the same studio that did the Brendan Fraser movie. I thought you were talking about them. Oh, I get it. Then if Warner Brothers want to distance themselves, and it's a full-on horror movie with Jack Rayner. I don't know who Jack Rayner is, but cool. Hey Eric, guess what? GTA 6 has been delayed. I know. We talked about that on the Discord when we did our watch party for Coraline last week. We actually talked about that before we got to the watch party. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that they delayed GTA 6. And like I said, we talked about it over on the watch party on my Discord last week. We talked about it at length. And I even went into some of my own suspicions and some of my own some of my own suspicions essentially about why they keep announcing a release date then delaying it over and over. So yeah, we kind of went into all of that, but yeah, it's a shame ultimately. But we got the announcement of the new Steam machine, which looks pretty cool, pretty good. I'll be very curious to give that a test. But the thing is, I don't, I don't have I'm sorry, we don't have the pricing information yet. So it sounds like it's a bit underpowered compared to what you should be getting, but it is definitely more powerful than any gaming PC or gaming device I have right now. So maybe that Steam machine can actually do some good when it comes out for someone like me. But it really comes down to price. If they price it well, I'll go for it potentially, even though I do most of my gaming on my Steam Deck over there. But yeah, I'll potentially consider getting it if it's priced right. I'm thinking 499, but I don't think they're going to charge that price for it. I Hate Anime says, I don't think I need a Steam machine since I already have a PC, but the VR looks sick. Yeah, that looks cool too. But again, it comes down to price. That's another reason I've never really been into those VR goggles, because they cost about as much as the consoles, even though they're really meant to be an accessory. They never charge accessory prices for them. Alex Narnia says, Eric, read my comment. Oh, okay, what did you ask? Eric, The Mummy 4 is official, but I don't see a point if Rick is not main lead. Don't you want them to be the main focus? Otherwise, why? Well, The Mummy 4, yeah, The Mummy 4, you don't want it to be made unless it has the original actors in it. So yeah, I would agree. Don't worry, we'll talk about The Mummy 4 when I get to the segment. So we'll talk about that in a bit. So don't you worry. Milo says, Hi, Eric. Just finished watching A Dog's Life by Charlie Chaplin. I was dying laughing. Ooh, the classics. That sounds good. I feel like now I want to watch that. I've not seen any of Charlie Chaplin stuff. I've seen little tiny clips and things, but that's about it. So, yeah, I'd like to see that. Eric, what do you think of the Wolverine trailer by Insomniac? I thought that looked really good. But I don't know what it is. There's a thing with me. Normally, when I would see comic book games like that, that would be a system seller. That would be a reason in of itself for me to buy a console just so I can play it. But I don't get that vibe no more. I think because consoles are now just one big expense, and I don't have the time to play them, and I just do most of my gaming when I game. I do it on my Steam Deck. I do it portably, and I just don't really have. I don't really want to stay glued to my monitor anymore by playing games, and I feel like for me, if I want to play it, I want to play it portably. So I think that's ultimately the reason why I don't feel the need, like I really want to play it. But we're going to get it towards the end of next year, so we'll see what happens. But I'll probably play it eventually when it comes to PC on my Steam Deck 2 or something. Or maybe the Steam Machine if I get the Steam Machine. Lee Dilly says, I hope I said your name right. I apologize if I didn't. Lee says, what is my opinion on the Insomniac Spider-Man games? I like them. I really like the first one. I love the Miles Morales game as well. That was also a surprisingly fun game. Spider-Man 2 is more complicated, my opinions on that one. So, like I said, I do plan on making a versus video with Spider-Man 1 versus Spider-Man 2 at some point, and I will get into it. But it just won't be anytime soon. But I'll go into extreme detail. Again, I spoke about this at length on my Discord server when we did video calls, all of us. There was a Sony game event where the Wolverine game trailer came out, and I did my reaction there with you guys, and we talked about the Spider-Man games, and I gave actually quite a bit of details and information. I think I even gave my score for the two games there too. So that's what I said. You really want to join my private Discord server right here, this perk, because I get into a lot of things that I usually try not to discuss on my channel because I don't want to spoil things. But on the Discord, I tend to get very we're having in-depth conversations, and I tend to like just not resist, and I tend to let you guys in on things that I probably shouldn't be because I'm supposed to keep it secret for the videos. So definitely head on over to the Discord if you want to get the inside scoop on these things, because I usually tend to say them a lot. Milo says, Eric, this is Goat. I changed username to my real name. Yeah, I figured on the Discord you changed your name as well. So I figured it was you, bud, because your profile pic is pretty much the same. Ooh, Big Bash says I platinumed at all three Insomniac Spider-Man games. Great job. All right, then. So, guys, we're going to get into the stories. Now, you know the drill when we get into these stories. I will not be able to answer any of your questions. And if you guys do want me to answer your question immediately, then all you have to do is do a super chat to ask me a question that way, and your question will pop up on the screen, and I will answer your question immediately. Or do a Streamlabs chat. And if you do a Streamlabs chat, I will also answer your question immediately. To do a Streamlabs chat, I've got a link in the description, and I've got a link in the pinned chat as well. I've pinned it in the chat. If you ask me questions that way, I will answer your questions immediately, even if I am telling or discussing these stories. All right, so just letting you know about that. And with that said, let's get to it. Oh, and before we get started, to any of my Discord members, can you share this? This live stream on the Discord on the Relax and Chill channel, please? I'd appreciate that if any of you do that. Oh wow, Big Bash has already done it. Well, thanks, thanks, Big Bash. Uh, okay. No problem, Sarah. Thanks for letting us know about that. I appreciate that. Okay. Your new mic is way better than the old one, says Milos. Oh, really? Way better? Would you guys say my new microphone is way better? Because this is not even the best quality, because I'm... Oh, sorry. See, that's what I mean. If you accidentally touch that, the sound goes off. Thank you, Sarah, for saying, uh-oh, that made me realize. Sarah says, at least with the old one, I could hear you. Yeah, there was no touch-sensitive area on the old one. You see how sensitive that was? But anyway, yeah. Yeah, the microphone on this, it doesn't even have an... I'm connecting it via USB-C. I'm not connecting it via the XLR cable, so the sound could get even better than this. But it's quite a pricey microphone. I don't think I can justify the cost of it right now. So it cost me about, I think, £270. But I actually have the opportunity to try it and then send it back if I think it's not worthwhile. So you guys, we can be the judge. Like I said, I'm going to be recording a lot of my videos with this. Big Bash, I got it from Amazon. Amazon at the end of the year, they always say you can buy something from November all the way to January. So basically, you have 2 months with a product, and if you're not happy with it, you can return it and send it back. And I always take them up on that because there's always something I want to try out. And if I think it's something I want to keep, I'll keep it. Like my headphones, I was going to give those back, but after about 3 months at the time, Amazon let you have a 3-month window to return something at the end of the year. Now they only give you 2. But I thought to myself, you know what? I'll keep the headphones because I don't want to get rid of them. I've been using them every day, and now I'm testing out the microphone in a similar fashion. So it's a kind of a nice thing that Amazon do at the end of the year, where they let you try something out, and if you're not happy with it, you can send it back by the end of before the end of January next year. It's like they know they're trying to make you feel like you have something for a while, and if you think it's worthwhile, you become attached to it in those couple of months. Then they think, okay, we don't. They'll keep it. And with my headphones, I did. It was £200 headphones, but with this, I can't afford a microphone to keep like this right now. So I plan to. I do plan to eventually, give it back and go back to my previous microphone, and then maybe get like this in the future. But it really all depends on you guys. If you guys see the improvements in my next several videos for the next couple of months, they're going to be all recorded with this. So you guys be sure to let me know. Uh, yeah, Big Bash, I agree. Too bad they're not employee friendly. Anyway, with that said, let's get to the stories. We're going to talk about Man of Tomorrow. Whoops a daisy, that's the wrong story. I didn't put them in the right order. Okay. Here we go. All right then. So, Man of Tomorrow has got some new news. Now, we've talked about this before, but now it's official. Before it was all rumor, now it's official. Brainiac is the villain in James Gunn's Man of Tomorrow movie. The movie that he says is not a Superman sequel, but Superman is heavily involved. Although, if you're putting Brainiac in a movie that has Superman in it, then technically it's a Superman sequel. And not to mention that Man of Tomorrow is kind of like calling Batman the Dark Knight. But because, because Superman has multiple aliases. He's got Superman, but then he also has the Man of Steel, Man of Tomorrow. Just like how Batman has Batman, the Dark Knight, the Caped Crusader. Like there's several different names they have. So I don't know why James Gunn is saying such weird stuff. Like it's not technically a Superman sequel. It should be. And apparently, like we discussed before, him and Lex Luthor are going to be working together to take down. We didn't know what the threat would be. We speculated it could be Brainiac, but it turns out now it is Brainiac. So they're going to team up to stop Brainiac. So that's really cool. That's very cool. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what they do with that. Now there is also rumors as to who they're going to cast as Brainiac. And one of the people's names that has come up, let me just let me just refer to my notes. One is Wallace Shawn. Now, Wallace Shawn is someone who was in Deep Space Nine. He played a Ferengi who was an alien. He was under a bunch of makeup and prosthetics. And there were also other characters that he has played. He was also, if you've watched the show Young Sheldon, he was Dr. Sturgis in that. A very good actor. And he also voiced Rex in the Toy Story films. Which we'll also be talking about later, the Toy Story films. So he is ultimately the one that is rumored to be playing Brainiac, and he's one of the few choices that could be playing Brainiac, Rex from Toy Story. Can you believe it? He's one of the few people that is rumored to play Brainiac. However, we don't know about that for sure yet. Apparently, James Gunn is still testing actors. He's still auditioning people, and he's auditioning people with a big body type. But we'll see who he chooses at the end. But it is kind of cool that they're already trying to cast him. And also, there's a rumor that Oscar Isaac, apparently he's not going to be playing Moon Knight anymore because he thinks Disney are fascists. So he wants to distance himself from them. But the rumor is that Matt Reeves wants to hire Oscar Isaac to play a role in the Batman Part 2. So that's a rumor I just heard. It's from Jeff Snyder. He can be wrong, so bear that in mind. But so Oscar Isaac, I think he's not bad off at all. Honestly, him being in the Batman Part 2 is far better than him being in Moon Knight or the MCU. And quite frankly as well, from what I've heard, Matt Reeves apparently was considering casting him in the Batman Part 1, but it didn't happen. So he's going to cast him in here. I wonder who he'll cast him as. Will it be Tommy Elliott if it is true that Hush is in the movie? Or is he going to cast him as, what was the other one I was just thinking of? It just got out of my head. Harvey Dent? Oscar Isaac as Harvey Dent? Maybe? I don't know. That would be interesting. Two-Face, guys. Yeah, Harvey Dent. So it'll be really, really interesting. Oh yeah, he did play Bob's Jacinda. He did do Bob's boss, didn't he? Rex from Toy Story. Interesting. I didn't know. But yeah, so it's some good casting going on here. Like I think so. We got a good idea for Brainiac, and we got Oscar Isaac, who I'm sure will be great of any character he plays in the Batman Part Two, and Matt Reeves. I'm sure if he hires Oscar Isaac, he's going to try to give him a bigger role. So I'll be curious to see what role that is. But yeah, I'm looking really forward to the Batman Part 2. I'm looking less forward to Man of Tomorrow because I wasn't as won over by the Superman movie. If you've seen my Versus video, I wasn't as won over by the Superman movie as I wish I would have been. So we'll see what I ultimately think. But I'm not as excited for Man of Tomorrow as I am for the Batman Part 2. But ultimately, the news is out there. We are getting Brainiac, and I'm glad we're finally getting Brainiac. So, what do you guys think? Are you happy that we're getting Brainiac in Man of Tomorrow? And who would you want to play Brainiac? And I say that, and I just looked at my comment section. Big Bash, come on, why'd you have to do this to me? Big Bash says Aquafina as Brainiac. No thanks, no thanks. That is a bloody nightmare. Aquafina as Brainiac, no way. I'm glad they're not race bending Brainiac as well. Oh, sorry, not race bending, gender bending Brainiac as well. Because have you heard the rumors that they're looking to cast a male or female as Voldemort in the HBO Harry Potter show? They easily could have tried to force something like that for Brainiac, but I'm glad they are not. Ooh, where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Alert box. There we go. Spirit Hero donated $5. Thank you very much, Spirit Hero. I really appreciate that. Spirit Hero says, what DC character do you think Oscar Isaac should play? Okay, now I think in the movie that he's going to be playing Two-Face, but if you had to ask me what character should he play, let me think. Okay, hear me out. I think he could potentially play Dr. Hugo Strange. Now, he's not my first choice, but he could get away with it. If you've seen that movie Ex Machina, he actually had a different hairstyle. He was bald and he had a beard. And I think if he was to say tone up, there he looked a bit more fat. But I think if he was to, I don't know, tone up a little bit maybe, like just a little bit, I think he can actually pull off like a decent and maybe even scary Dr. Hugo Strange. So I would say Dr. Hugo Strange, but maybe he's going to cast him as Mr. Freeze because there's rumors. Remember, Matt Reeves said before that he was interested in doing potentially Mr. Freeze as a villain in the future. And if he does Mr. Freeze, Oscar Isaac as Mr. Freeze, that wouldn't be a bad choice. Again, it wouldn't be my first choice, but it wouldn't be a bad choice. So I think that's one of the things that it potentially could be. Big Bash says, I think he'd be pretty good. Yeah, I think he could be pretty good as well. Matt Smith as Brainiac. Well, I think Matt Smith could play an alien like that in a way. Yeah, that would not be too bad. Let's see, what else? I think he would make a good penguin, said Neoma. You know, I would think that he also could potentially have made a good penguin, but the penguin they have is amazing, and I think we'll just stick with that. Even though, Colin Farrell said that the Penguin's got even less screen time in the Batman Part 2 than he did in the first movie. I really wish Matt Reeves did something with the Penguin, got him more involved, because he's done some awful things, and I want to see him get the crap beaten out of him by Batman. If you've watched his Penguin show, he did some awful things. Goat, you don't have to tell me Adam Styles every time. I think my brother would actually appreciate it if you didn't keep mentioning him as the joke. He wanted to be mentioned for the sponsor, and that was basically it. Huey Toonmore is here. Great to see Huey Toonmore, as always. Huey says, one rumor I've heard for an actor considered for Brainiac is David Pierce. I've heard that too. Let me have a look what he was in. David Hyde Pierce. This guy looks very different when he has a beard and no beard, doesn't he? What's his filmography? Frasier, The Perfect Host. Oh, he did a voice in Osmosis Jones. I mean, that's kind of interesting to even have. Oh, he was in Sleepless in Seattle. I've not seen that movie, but I've heard a lot about it. A Bug's Life he was in. And yeah, ooh, Treasure Planet. I love watching that movie as a kid. I still want to see that again. He was in a Nixon movie. Yeah, he's actually been in a lot of things. He did some voices in The Simpsons. He was in The Terminator, Adam Family Values. Wow. Hercules, man, he's done a lot of stuff. Back in the old days, not so much now, but he's done a lot of things. Yeah, I would not be against someone like that. Khan as Brainiac. Yeah. We had Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, so he could be Freeze. Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger never should have been Freeze. I mean, technically, I guess he could. He's played a Terminator before. If they did it right, he probably could have gotten away with it. But Arnold was such a diva on the set of that movie. He was paid the most out of everyone on that cast, even more than George Clooney as Batman and everyone else. And for some reason, even though they were shooting, he would always want to smoke those cigars of his. I think they're supposed to be special cigars. And he wanted to smoke them, even though he's playing Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze, who gets hurt by heat. And what's in cigarettes or cigars? Heat. So that was such a stupid thing, but even if they said action, he was like, no, I'm going to be having my cigar. So he was such a diva on that set. A professional would put that down and do his performance, but instead he wanted to keep smoking that shit. So Big Bash says, do you like Osmosis Jones, Eric? I do. I grew up with the Ozzy and Drick show on Cartoon Network. Sadly, our TV broke down and we never got to see season 2, which was such a shame. Such a shame. I should try to find a way of getting that and watching it that way. But yeah, that's ultimately what happened there. But yeah, I loved Osmosis Jones. Osmosis Jones looks like Megamind, says Jess. Kinda, but they're both very different. Was he supposed to be a blood cell, I think, if I remember, Osmosis Jones, and Drix was a pill. Voiced by Chris Rock in the movie, but then in the animated show on Cartoon Network, he was voiced by someone else, but it sounded a lot like Chris Rock. Turns out it wasn't. They got a very good sound alike to voice him in that. Michael C. Hall as Brainiac, Fireboy. Who's Michael C. Hall? Let me see. Oh, is that Dexter? I watched a few episodes of the Dexter show, then I never watched the rest. So I can't say if he would be good, but yeah, he does seem like he's got like that cold menace to him from what I do remember. Potentially, yeah. So there's a lot of good choices out there. But yeah, he does look almost robotic, doesn't he, in a way? Like he could play like some kind of robot alien or something. Yeah, Jess, that is not going to happen in the Batman Part 2. Definitely not. Hugo Weaving or Gary Oldman or even Michael Fassbender as Brainiac. Michael Fassbender, I don't want him as Brainiac. It could be interesting, but we've seen him play that robot in... What was that robot? Oh yeah, Alien. What was his name? What was his name? David. It was David, wasn't it? He played that. So I don't know if it'll seem too similar to that. But then again, actors can shape their performance, so maybe he could shape his performance to sound better. I don't know. We'll have to see. Chris the Rock Johnson. You mean Dwayne the Rock Johnson as Brainiac? Yeah, no way. He thinks he's a Brainiac. Alien. Yeah, Jess, I know that was an Alien Covenant. Aman says, what Batman villain would you like to see in a movie? I'd like to see Mr. Pig for an R-rated Batman movie. That could potentially be done as a streaming episode if they put Batman on a streaming thing. I don't want to see that in a movie. I think that would be not necessary. There was rumors that we're going to make a Mr. Pig, I think, movie, and Batman potentially could have been in that. And if they did that, then I'll be all for it. But not in a movie. That would be a waste. I would rather have them do more high-profile villains, quite frankly. All right, then. So, any more questions about this before we move on to the next story? Guy Pearce as Brainiac. Not too bad, I think. Want to see Condiment King there. Neoma, I don't know who should play Poison Ivy. Very tricky character to pull off, but it has to be someone that looks practically like a model. Looks like very good looking, and she also has to be able to know how to act. But at the same time, they can't go over the top like the one from the Batman and Robin movie. I don't know. Well, it's tricky. Lars Mikkelsen as Brainiac. Yeah, no, actually, no. I don't think he would be a good Brainiac. He's already playing a Brainiac in the Ahsoka show, essentially, as Grand Admiral Thrawn. He would be very much the same if he was in... if they brought him over into Superman and he did Brainiac. Uma Thurman was not a good Poison Ivy. All their acting performances were bad. And it wasn't their fault. Most of them, it was not their fault. They're great actors. Again, most of them. It's just that the studio wanted to go a more comical route, and that's the route they went. I always thought that George Clooney could do a very good Bruce Wayne if he wanted to. It would be very interesting to see him do a Batman as well, but again, the approach they took was the completely wrong one. Could Bill Skarsgård make a good Joker? Again, it has to be very different to his Pennywise, but I think potentially. But his laugh, you got to get that laugh right. I don't know if his laugh is Joker level. But then again, did he ever really try to do Joker? So maybe he could have. All right, now we're going to talk about The Mummy 4. Now, I loved the original Mummy movie. I watched it as a kid, and it was, I would say it's almost one of those movies that was almost like a kid's horror film, almost, because clearly it was meant for much older audiences. But it was actually a scary movie. I remember my sister was terrified of it as a kid when we saw it. Not the first time, but the second time. She was really scared of it. So I'm very happy they're making another one. And also interestingly, this fourth Mummy movie, which is they're in talks right now, they're not actually doing it. This Mummy movie apparently is going to ignore the third film, which they recast Rachel Weisz's role as Evelyn, and they cast someone else, which was not good. They should not have done that. So apparently they're going to ignore that, which I'm very, very glad about. I think we all want to forget about that third movie. But yeah, to bring these two back, that's great. That's what they should do, is bring both of them back. And Brendan Fraser is kind of on the rise again. Like, his career kind of came back. I mean, out of nowhere, no one wanted to hire him. Oh, hi, Crazy Cat Lady. No one wanted to hire Brendan Fraser, but then somehow he made a huge comeback. He was with that whale movie. And now he's in a lot of things, and his career is going back up. And he had that disappointing thing when Batgirl never got released, which was sad for him. In The Whale, he did a phenomenal job with his performance in that. He did a really good job. I agree. I hate anime and Big Bash. He did a very good job. But yeah, so I'm glad they're doing another one. I even enjoyed the second film as well. Not as good as the first, but I still really enjoyed it. And you can tell that Brendan Fraser, when you watch him in interviews today, he loved playing Rick O'Connell. And why wouldn't you? That he's essentially like an Indiana Jones-like character. That's what those Mummy movies were, the first two at least. They were like swashbuckling adventures where he was playing the Indiana Jones character. And then the second movie, Evie, she even was able to do a bunch of fighting moves and stuff, which was kind of a silly part of the story, that they said she was the protector, but I think they mean her ancestor was, but how she knows how to fight like her ancestor, that was weird, but I'm willing to just accept it. So I'm very glad they're making it again. I hope they bring the actor that played Jonathan back. The last time I saw him, Evelyn's brother, Evie's brother, the last time I saw him was in an episode of The Last of Us. I think it was The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 1, where he was in that. So it'd be great to see him again. So overall, I love that they're bringing these actors back, and I really hope they bring, I really hope they do it. I really want to see them do another movie. I would be really ready for it. Huge problem, though. One huge problem that no one is talking about. Now, the director for these two Mummy movies, not The Mummy 3, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, but the first two Mummy movies, was someone called Stephen Sommers. He directed those movies. He ultimately had that sort of like swashbuckling tone in those films. He introduced that. He brought it in. It was his style of filmmaking. Now, the smart move would be, if you're going to go back to that old style movie, is not only do you bring the original actors back, but you got to bring the original director back. And that's not what they're doing. In fact, they're trying to bring over these two directors, which, as you can see in the article, it says Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz team up with Ready or Not filmmakers for the new Mummy movie. Now, these guys down here, these are the directors of three movies: Ready or Not, Scream 5, and Scream 6. And they also did Abigail as well, that little girl vampire movie. Now, these guys, I'll say this, Ready or Not, I really enjoyed that film. I did like it a lot. But And then when I heard that they were gonna go from Ready or Not to making Scream, I was like, "That's a great choice." Like, I actually can see those directors that made that movie. I can see how they can try to make a Scream movie, and they did 2 of them, both of which I thought were actually pretty good. But the 5th Scream movie, you guys all know the bone I have to pick with that movie. I did not like that they spoilers for that film, but I'm sure you've all seen it now. I did not like how they killed off Dewey in that film. I thought that was atrocious the way they did it. It was a disservice to the character, and it was a decision that actually hurt the franchise going forward. Because now he's not in the 6th movie and he's not able to be in the 7th. Although I heard that Courtney Cox, his ex-wife, who plays Gale in there, I heard that she apparently said that she'll only come on if they bring him back. I don't know if they bring him back in a flashback or if he's a memory or he's like a ghost to her or something. Whatever it is, apparently he's going to be in the movie, but we don't know to what capacity. For me, they better bring him back to life. They brought other characters back to life. Other people have survived crazier stabs, like the black guy who got stabbed in the 5th movie and the 6th movie multiple times, but he's still alive, and he's in this 7th movie as well. I hope they bring Dewey back. But ultimately, my issue with these 2 directors are that they're very good with female characters, but they are very bad when it comes to male characters. Now, this is not a problem, but one thing that they are really good at, Spirit Hero, I'll answer that because that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. One thing that they're very good at is the female characters, but their weakness, or something that they've not shown in their directing capabilities, is that they've not given male characters a standout moment. They've not given male characters really any good moment where it's like, oh yeah, look at that. That was a badass moment for the guys. No, they've always done badass moments for the women. And my concern is that they are going to have Brendan Fraser not be the main character, but have Evie be the main character, and they're going to give her all the big moments. That is my concern. Now, can they change up and say, yeah, we're going to make Brendan Fraser the main lead? Yes, they can. But the thing is, they've made 4 movies where the guys don't get any big standout moments, but the women always do. And that's my concern. You can get Evie involved because she was in the 2nd film. She was in the 1st film too. She's the one that sent the mummy away. And in the 2nd movie, she had some hand-to-hand combat. So great. If you want to do that, great. But Brendan Fraser, he is the swashbuckler. He is the main character. He's the Indiana Jones of the movie. He is the one that you got to give the standout moments to, the big action sequences to. He's the main character. And I do not trust these guys in giving him his flowers in the movie. I think they're going to try to focus a lot more on his wife Evie. And so that's one of my big concerns. And that's exactly what Spirit Hero here, who has donated $5 as a super chat, which I appreciate, thanks buddy. He says, I really hope they don't disrespect Fraser's character like all the great male movie characters. See, I'm not the only one who thinks that. Even Spirit Hero thinks that they've not done the male characters right. I really hope that I agree. I really hope that they do him justice. I hope they don't, push him off to the sidelines or anything like that. He's the main character, and I hope studio executives butt in and tell them that. They need to be monitored in this regard, and I don't trust them. So that's one thing that I don't trust them with. The second thing I don't trust them with is that Jonathan, are they going to try to kill him? Are they going to say that we need to raise the stakes, so to raise it, we're going to kill off Jonathan? I don't like that. If they're going to kill off anyone, then they should kill off their son, really, because I don't think he was good in the 2nd movie, but now they're going to have to make him an adult, and they're going to have to hire a different actor, an actor who was never really part of the group to begin with. So if they want to kill off someone, I'd say kill off him. But the main group of characters is our main 2 characters and Jonathan. And I hope they don't kill any of them off. Well, Jonathan, I think, is the only one they could try to make an argument that we should kill him off. I would say no. I hope they don't kill him off. So that's the second one of my concerns, that they'll probably try to kill him off. My third concern is a big concern. What makes the studio think these 2 are the right candidates to direct a mummy movie? A fun, swashbuckling adventure that has a ton of energy and this upbeat kind of attitude and horror mixed in there, like supernatural horror. What makes them think that these two can do that? Because, like I said, Ready or Not was a perfect movie for them to, like, as a launch pad for them to say, all right, this is our pitch. This is what the movie we've made. Do you what are a good fit for Scream 5 and 6? Like that, I was like, yeah, totally great fit for that kind of thing. But, taking out the Dewey disrespect. Totally great directors for that. But I don't see what these two have anything. Their directing has nothing to do with anything in The Mummy. The Mummy is like a completely different movie. So I'm genuinely surprised that they've actually hired these two. They're still in talks, basically, but I think in talks means they pretty much hired them. We'll have to see what happens. But I'm surprised that they hired these two and they didn't get the original director, Stephen Sommers, back. Because Stephen Sommers is the one that made those first two movies what they were, so they really should bring him back and have him direct the film. Also, he didn't. After the two Mummy films, Stephen Sommers also made Van Helsing, the movie with Hugh Jackman. A lot of people said the movie was bad, but honestly, that was a movie I enjoyed as a kid, and it had the same upbeat kind of like dark and horror like, but also fun tone that the Mummy movies had. So I don't know why they have not brought him back. They really should have brought him back, but they haven't. They bought these two, and I think these two are the wrong choice for this kind of movie. I really do. So those are my three big problems with these two. I think they are the wrong choice for this particular movie. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you think they're the right choice for this movie? Do you think they can adapt their style? Do you think that they will give Brendan Fraser his flowers? Or or do you think that they are just going to make it a movie that very much reflects their sensibilities and not the franchises and not Rick O'Connell's, which is who the movie is really about? I Hate Anime says, who would be a better director besides the original director? That is a very good question. Uh, I don't really know. I was trying to think of some directors before, but to find a director that had that style, that is very tricky because that was a very unique style in those Mummy movies. It was Indiana Jones, but like horror. I'd say probably Steven Spielberg, actually. But Spielberg doesn't like to do. Temple of Doom really affected him because there was a big backlash on that film for being too dark. So I don't know if Steven Spielberg would be the right choice. Uh Let me think. I mean, there is also Sam Raimi, but Sam Raimi might be too goofy. But Sam Raimi, I think he could adapt his style, but can he bring the swashbuckling aspect to it? The Indiana Jones element. That's my question. Also, rumors are that Sam Raimi is trying to get a Spider-Man 4 movie off the ground, so I would let him just go and do that personally, with Tobey Maguire. Could they do it? Yes. Will they do it? No, says Aman Shahid. Yep, exactly. Billy says, I think anyone deserves a chance to be something more than a typecast, including being a director. I just wish they were given first a similar original project to prove themselves. Exactly, I agree. I think they also should have got a similar project to prove themselves. But sadly, that is not the case, unfortunately. Gore Verbinski? Yeah, that's a good one, Trevor. Yeah, I think he could bring it in. Yeah, Gore Verbinski. Yeah. Yeah, that's it's even better the more I think about it. He's put the horror elements in there. He can put the fun elements in there. I think he could actually pull that off. Yeah, very good. Very good, buddy. That was a perfect example. Gore Verbinski. Yeah, I think he could do it. Fireboy says, I will give them a little of chance if they don't screw it up if they don't screw up the Mummy movie. Would you rather see a fourth Mummy movie or a sequel to Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman? Fourth Mummy movie. That Hugh Jackman film, it was good as it was. You don't need a sequel for that. And plus, it's been years later. If they've not done it then, I don't think they're going to do it now. But the annoying thing would be if they did make a Van Helsing 2 and they were simultaneously making The Mummy 4, but they got Stephen Sommers to direct the Van Helsing 2 and not to direct The Mummy 4. That would have bothered me. That would actually be... These two can actually do Van Helsing 2, and I would actually say Stephen Sommers could come in and do Mummy 4. That's what I would actually say. Cameron says, at this point, movie studios have no ideas anymore for new movies. I mean, new movies are being made, but we're watching them in the box office, how they just keep flopping. So it's not like they're not making them, they're making them. It's just that none of us go to see them. And that's the problem. We only go to see the newer movies. So if you want to see it, you gotta, everyone's got to kind of come together and watch more um, of those movies. You know what I mean? They gotta watch more of those. Big Bash says, I blame the audience for nostalgia dominating the box office. Yeah, but at the same time, a lot of us are going to go to see this Mummy movie, aren't we? So, I think we're all kind of partly to blame for that. So, I can't blame studios for wanting to go nostalgic, but the thing is, they got to try and give a damn when they do it. No, not Michael Bay, Jess. Definitely not. Keep him out. He won't make it funny. He'll make it just cringy. I just had a quick listen to the sound quality on my microphone. Yeah, it's actually a very good quality. I do think it could actually be a bit better though, interestingly. So maybe I do need to connect it up to an interface, audio interface, but like I said, I got this temporarily, so I don't think I'll be doing that. The Mummy 1999 was great. A remake done right, says Angel Cruz. Yeah, it was. It was done very well. In fact, a lot of people actually look at that original Mummy movie as like the original Mummy, even though the original Mummy was the black and white movie. But people now think this is like the original, so and it's a great film. I really, really enjoy the film. Andy Muschietti, no, no, no. His style is too goofy. He leans too much into the goofy. You need to have a charm to the swashbuckling elements, and I don't think he has it. They also need to bring the same composer back. I can't remember the name of the composer, but in The Mummy 2, he actually had a certain that I'll tell you, in The Mummy 2, the composer, he actually has a bit of music that sounds just like something that John Williams would compose. I always thought this. If you go to the scene where Alex has the bracelet on and his father has to run and take him to the where did he take him? Was it to a temple or was it to uh I can't remember. What was the object? I'm blanking on the object. It was a pyramid. That was it. It was a pyramid. He took him to a pyramid, and otherwise the bracelet would suck the life out of him. That music that played for that scene sounded like something that John Williams would do, and that is high praise indeed for a composer. I've never given that to anyone before. Oh wow. Goat has just posted yesterday on my Discord. I'm just looking at it now. He goes 100 more for Eric to get to 66,000 subscribers. Actually, buddy, it's less. I got to get 30 subscribers uh to get to 66,000. It doesn't tell you in detail on this live counts. It used to, but YouTube doesn't allow it anymore. But my subscriber count is not actually 65,900, it's 65,970. A couple hours ago, it was 65,973, but I lost 3 subscribers because YouTube, I don't know if it's inactive accounts, but for some reason, they've always been removing subscribers from my account. It's annoying. Alex Narnia says, Eric, I agree with you. I don't trust them either. Yeah, I don't trust them. That's the problem. Yeah. Zaidan, great to see you, bud. Alfonso Caron, not sure if I spelled the name properly. I don't think you. I don't. Yeah, I don't think you spelled the second one right, but I get what you mean. Nah, I don't think he's the kind either. You need someone who has that swashbuckling kind of like feel. And Gore Verbinski and Steven Spielberg are great choices. I think Sam Raimi could mimic that. I think that's in his wheelhouse if he wanted to. But yeah, but I think they should have brought Steven Summers back. Electrify, yes, I can. Not me, though. I'm tired of formulaic IP films. I want originals. If you want originals, there are plenty of them, but like I said, they're all flopping in theaters. They come to digital in no time, so you should have plenty of them. The guy who directed Pirates of the Caribbean, says Robin. Yeah, that's Gore Verbinski. Angel Cruz, you're right. Jerry Goldsmith did the music for the first two Mummy films. Yeah, he's the closest to John Williams to me, because he's done so much amazing music. But sadly, he's passed away. Let me double check that. I'm certain he has passed away. Yeah, he passed away in 2004. He did all the Star Trek themes as well from all those Star Trek shows. I don't know if it's every single one of them, but a lot of them. Certainly the ones that came out in my generation, like Voyager, Deep Space Nine, The Next Generation. I think he did the music for all of those. Milo's, don't do that. He says, I'm going to make 30 alternate accounts. Don't do that, because those are the ones that YouTube don't like when people do. And also, they'll remove those 30 accounts. So it'll all be for no reason. You'll be wasting time doing that. So don't do that. That's not the way. I like to go legit. I got all those subscribers because over 60,000 people, 65,000 people actually hit the subscribe button next to one of my videos. That I take pride in that. Jess says, get the guy who directed District 9 to direct it. I know that director. I can't remember his name, though. But I would say no to that. Neil Blomkamp. Yeah, no. This is, not, again, not his wheelhouse. Robin says, do you think they'll bring back Imhotep? Yes, I think they will. I'm almost certain they will. It's almost no doubt in my mind that they'll bring him back. So, yeah, I think they will bring him back. Because if they're trying to feed into the nostalgia, they're going to have to bring him back after all these years, aren't they? It's funny, because if you watch Brendan Fraser in interviews, he actually says, you could hear Rachel Weisz saying off in the corner, oh no, they're going to take away our green cards. Like, she thought they were making a crappy movie, but he was enjoying it the whole time. I wonder if that's why she didn't come back for the third movie, because she didn't want to, or because of scheduling conflicts. One of the two. Oh, Movie King is here. Says, hey Eric, how's your day going? My day's going very well, buddy. Thanks for asking. Jess says, District 9 had that documentary film style, and the aliens understand that one main character. Yeah, it did have a documentary film style, but that's not what the Mummy movies had, so I wouldn't say that. I don't think that director would do a good job. Imagine the Russo brothers doing the Mummy 4. No. Their comedy is better than most others, but you need the right type of comedy, and I don't want modern day comedy in these Mummy movies. You gotta have the swashbuckling type of comedy, the comedy of those times, not modern day comedy. I really hope to God they don't do that. I really hope they don't. Big Bash says, Eric, when did you watch The Mummy for the first time? The first time I watched it, I think I was 6 or 7. Don't no one do those 6 or 7 jokes. I did not mean that. I really did not. I did not mean that. I'm being honest. What do you think was the scariest scene from the 1999 Mummy? The scariest scene. There's a lot of scary scenes in that movie. A lot of them. I think it was brutal, the movie too. Like Unforgiving. Amazing that PG-13 movies could get that back in the day. Um. Oh. Uh. Well, a lot of people here don't like the 6 and 7 joke. Good, because I thought a lot of you were going to. I thought a lot of you were just were just going to start memeing it. Connor has been a member for 16 months now on my YouTube memberships. Thank you very much for that, buddy. I appreciate it. He says, I'm hoping that there's not going to be a new Home Alone movie this holiday, since the last one was absolutely terrible and a disgrace. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Oh, hi, Ed. Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, the 6 or 7 meme is so dumb, Connor. What was the question that I forgot? Oh, the scariest scene. The scariest scene is probably the bit where he takes out the guy's eyes. That was probably one of the scary scenes in the movie. But yeah, there were a lot of scary scenes in that movie. The death scenes in particular were grisly, I thought. My favorite scary part is when he killed a guy with the book and turns to see main characters. Yeah, that was the guy I'm talking about. Him. That was a scary death scene. Zaidan says, thankfully, this community is more mature than most. No 6-7 bullshit, please. Yep, exactly. And I'm so glad about that. Although this community is not as mature as you think. Have you seen the amount of monkey jokes they've done in the past? And the amount of Aquafina starring as this and that character they've done in the past. Jeez. Yeah, Robin, 6 and 7 doesn't mean anything. That's ultimately why they love it, because everyone's like, what does 6 or 7 mean? But they know it means nothing. It's one big troll move. They're just trolling people who don't know what it means by saying, what? You don't know what it means? It's just a load of bullshit. I mean, back in my time, we had the joke. We had the joke of this. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9, like, that's the joke we had. Understandable. It had a beginning, middle, and end. But now you just have dumb kids saying 6 and 7. Like, that's it. It's ridiculous, dude. Really ridiculous. It's not even a dad joke. It's just stupid. Imagine counting in the middle of it. People laugh. Yeah, I know, right? We had 9 plus 10 equals 21, said Anime. Sarah's like 6 and 7. I mean, 9 plus 10 is 19, so how does, what was the joke with 9 plus 10 is 21? Is that when they're saying things don't make sense? Like 1 plus 2 equals 4 or something? Oh god, Sarah, you actually found an emoji for 6 and 7. Buddy, what did you just say about Zaidan? You just said that this is a more mature community. I told you, they've got their own silliness. Kind of funny that 6 and 7 is where they draw the line. Where they draw the line. Ah, right, Charleston. Charleston says 9 plus 10 meme was from an old Vine of a kid getting a math question wrong. Okay, right. Okay, interesting. It was a meme when a guy was asking a kid what was 9 plus 10 and the kid always answered 21. Oh, right, I think I've seen that. Is it a video on YouTube? And the kid went through that. Yes, went through, said that. They'll just, Sarah. They'll just keep milking franchises until they're dry as a boat. Yep, they definitely will. Imagine math class now. It's probably hell. We are cinephile. We want nuance. 6 or 7 is as shallow as it gets. Yeah, exactly, Billy. Like, put some effort behind it at least. I mean, if that's 6 or 7 is all you can come up with, then you'll do great as a Hollywood writer, because a lot of the movies they're writing are no good these days. By the way, Spirit Hero, thank you very much for the super chats. I really appreciate it. Khan, we're not going to the Q&A yet. We're going to move on to the third story now, because we're done with the mummy. Now we're going to move on to Toy Story 5. And I want to talk about this because I actually think that, first I was like, why are they making another Toy Story movie? And we were all like that. But then just yesterday, my sister came to visit, and we went out today, and we were chatting about the teaser trailer for Toy Story 5 that released. And I didn't do a trailer reaction for it because it was so short. So there was nothing really to react to. I'll do a trailer reaction when the proper trailer comes out. But something that, and basically the trailer just shows you exactly what you already knew from previous announcements of Toy Story 5. It basically tells you that you've got a new tablet device. Bonnie gets a tablet device, and now this device, it basically is like a threat to toys, because back in my time, toys were all the rage. Kids loved toys. We had Toys R Us. Kids wanted to always go to the toy store. I loved going to the toy store and the video game side of the store. I used to love doing all of that, even though I wasn't allowed to buy any video games as a kid. I always felt like I wanted one, and I was like, I just want to go see them. And I tried to convince my dad sometimes, and he never would. So I got a DS and PSP from my uncle years later, but that's a different story. So ultimately, toys were a big deal back in the time, but now toys are not so much a big deal. Kids don't really care about toys. They just care about smartphones and apps and TikTok and all that other kind of stuff. So it's actually a very good plot point to actually say that the enemy of the movie for the toys in Toy Story is a tablet device. That's such a good plot point, and it made me and my sister, we were both talking, it made us think, and she said something which I thought was very interesting. She said Toy Story 5 is what Toy Story 4 should have been. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Because Toy Story 4 was a completely pointless movie. Because when you watch this, they're back in Barney's house, and even Woody is there. Even though Woody, if you saw Toy Story 4, he left the toys in Toy Story 4 and he stayed with Bo Peep at the carnival, festival, whatever it was. So he stayed with her there, and that means he was no longer with he was no longer with the toys anymore, the family of toys. So it's like, what's happening now? Or how are they going to explain that he went back with the toys? Because that was a bad ending. That was not a good ending. And my sister was basically like, so yeah, but she made a good point, because essentially, imagine Toy Story 3 ends with Andy giving Barney his toys. And imagine if the very next film was Toy Story 4, where it was talking about this storyline with the tablet device and how kids are getting distracted with those. That would have been the next necessary or natural way to continue the story. I still think Toy Story 3 is the perfect way to end, but if you were going to continue it, that is the way you would continue it. And I thought that was a great way, the way they did it in this movie, based on the story that we see. At least the movie could suck, who knows? But I was like, this is a great story. But sadly, we got Toy Story 4, which kind of everyone looks at as the worst of the Toy Story films. And even though they liked it when it came out, I thought it was decent. I gave it like a 7 out of 10 when it came out. The more and more you think about it, the less you like it, and you just don't feel like rewatching it. I've rewatched all the first 3 Toy Story films so many times, even though I was getting older, especially by the time the third movie came out. But the fourth movie, I just don't ever want to watch again. And also, I don't like Bo Peep, how her character changed too much. You couldn't even recognize her. They were trying to do the strong female empowerment thing at the time, because that's when it was going on. And you could tell her character was affected, or I shouldn't say affected, but impacted by that. And that wasn't a good choice. So, yes, to me, I thought that was pretty awful, pretty bad that they did that. Uh, but hey, we're getting this movie now, and this looks like the sequel that Toy Story 4 should have been. So I will say I'm curious to see the movie tackle this whole situation, because it is a direct threat against the toys. So this is the first time I'll actually say, whereas before I was like, why are you making another sequel? I am now kind of interested to see this movie, but I really feel like they should just ignore the events of Toy Story 4 and just move straight onto this. Just like how the Mummy movie that we were talking about earlier, The Mummy 4, is meant to ignore is meant to ignore The Mummy 3. I think Toy Story 5 should ignore Toy Story 4. That's what I think they should do. Because I think this is a great natural continuation point for the story after Toy Story 3. They don't need Toy Story 4. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say, that this was ultimately the sequel they should have made, but they didn't. But they are now. It's coming out in 2026, in June, which is the month of my birthday, so we'll see how it does. I Hate Anime says, I found it weird that Bonnie stopped playing with Woody. I can't even remember. Was that a point in the movie that she stopped playing with him? I can't even remember anymore, because I've only seen it once in theaters. Toy Story 3, I agree, Fireboy. Toy Story 3 should have ended it. That would have been the best ending. I don't trust Disney to make this theme meaningful to electrify. Well, this is when they were trying to get out of the whole progressive or woke or whatever word you want to call it. This is when they were getting out of that. So I think they're going to try to do a good story. A big telltale sign if they're going to do good or not is all dependent on how good Zootopia 2 is. If Zootopia 2 is a great movie, then we have less to worry about. We should feel fairly confident that they'll do a good job with Toy Story 5. If Zootopia 2 is a bad movie, then you have some cause for concern, because it means that they've not fully gotten back on track if Zootopia 2 doesn't do well. So yeah, that's what I would that's what I would say with regards to that. Joshman says, I remember in Toy Story 4 she wanted to play with Forky. Yeah, I can't remember a lot of Toy Story 4, and Forky was not a great character either. Big Bash says, why her parents let her play with a fork is beyond me. Charles says, when Quentin Tarantino criticized a movie for being a sequel to a movie that should have been the end of the series, that really says a lot, even for an animated movie. Well, it's because it just ended perfectly, didn't it? So that's why he said that they shouldn't have made any more. Angel Cruz says, Toy Story 4 was bad. Didn't like the ending, nor was it impactful as Toy Story 3. Yeah, I do agree with you. Joshman says, I've been very nervous about Zootopia 2, and Eric, you stated you wanted to do a versus video on both the first and the second Zootopia. Yeah, Joshman, that's what I'll be doing. I'm planning on it. I need to see the movie first, but I'm planning on doing a versus video between the two. And Billy actually wanted me to do a versus video, wanted to commission a versus video between Zootopia and the Zootopia movie that came out. Was it 2017? What was it called again, Billy? I don't think I've got it. The search result here. Return to Zootopia, that was it. So if Billy wants to commission that, by all means, Billy, commission it. You can go to my Patreon and commission it there. And once you write it down, it'll be in the bank for you, and I'll get to making the video when the second film comes out and is available for digital purchase. Yeah, if you need any help on that, on how to do it or whatever, it should be fairly straightforward if you want to commission it. But if you need any help, just head on over to my Discord, because I know you're on there, and message me privately, and I'll help you out. I'll guide you through it if you need help on it. Jess says Lotso should have been the villain for the fifth movie. I think they've done everything they were going to do with Lotso. I think bringing him back would be lazy. So I like that. I like that our new villain looks like it's going to be this tablet device. Yeah, like I said, the tablet is ultimately the main villain here, and Toy Story 4 was the bad one. Joshman says, we got one more week before Zootopia 2 comes out. I'll be going to see it after Thanksgiving, but if Disney screws up on it, that's it. I'm boycotting future Disney animated movies. Yeah, let's hope they don't mess it up. They got a lot riding on this. Charlton says, I can imagine you'd probably be a lot more critical on Toy Story 4 if you rewatched it because of Keegan-Michael Key's character being the comedic relief. Yeah, me and my sister were talking about that as well. That joke, I mean, there were funny jokes on their own, but they weren't Toy Story. It was, yeah, it was a bit much. We should be boycotting it already for Coco 2. What, are they making a Coco 2? I loved the first Coco. That was a huge surprise. And I think I gave that movie a very high score as well. Coco 2 is in development at Pixar Animation Studios and is scheduled for a 2029 theatrical release. Wow. That's 4 years from now. That's a long time. 6 months ago they confirmed it, Billy, did they? Oh. Let's hope they do a good job. I don't know how they could make a better movie than that first one. That first one was perfection. Anime says, I thought the Book of Life was better than Coco. I've always wanted to see the Book of Life because a lot of people keep comparing it to Coco, but I've never seen it myself. Yeah, I'll give it a watch. Big Bash says, I'm going to be 23 when Coco 2 comes out. I was 11 when Coco 1 came out. Yeah, crazy when that happens, isn't it? The G Gamer says, Toy Story 3, I saw it as the end of Andy's story. Toy Story 3, I saw it as the end of Andy's story. Toy Story 4, I saw as the ending for Woody's story. And I feel this is going to make both sides mad. Well, I don't really think anyone, by the end of it, I think most people think that leaving Woody at the fair was a bad choice. I think a lot of fans think it. I know Disney certainly think it, because now they're going to have to come up with a reason to bring him back. So, I think... yeah, I don't think people are going to be as pissed off about it as you think. I think people are more pissed that they made Toy Story 4 after making Toy Story 3, and after Toy Story 3 was so good, you know, what they did. No need to watch Maya and the Three Dragons. That's another good comparison to Book of Life and Coco. Is it Maya and the Three Dragons, was it? Maya and the Three Dragons, I think. Oh, Electrify has done a super chat. That's cool. Let's see. As a $5 super chat from Electrify. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate the support, as always. Electrify says Disney can't fix Marvel yet, so I still don't trust them to do this right. Well, I've heard some things that Disney are apparently, well, Marvel are apparently trying to do. I think what they're trying to do with Doomsday and Secret Wars is that they're trying to take all the Marvel characters across all the different movies and all the different studios and universes, and I think they're trying to combine them into one universe. I think that's what they're trying to do, from what I've heard. I've heard rumors and things. So we'll see how they do. Uh, Ed says Marvel should retcon their bad films for Doomsday. Well, we'll see how they do it. Joshua says, Eric, when are you going to see Zootopia 2? I'm going to try to see it when it comes out, which is towards the end of this month, isn't it? Charlton said I'd at least happily rewatch Toy Story 4 over Lightyear. Yep, I think we all would. I wouldn't happily rewatch it over Lightyear, but I would reluctantly watch it over Lightyear because I'd be reluctant to even watch it at all, to be perfectly honest with you. Do you know one thing that's really good? I'm looking at the sound waves on my microphone, and when I am whispering, like I'm whispering very quietly right now, it picks up my voice and it raises it. It's like it's making sure that even if I'm speaking to you guys very quietly, you can hear me loudly, like very clearly. Do you notice that? What do you guys think of that? I don't think my previous microphone was able to do something like that. Ooh, good point. You know what? All right. You said that one of you here said, I hear Anime said, I didn't hear you whisper on the old mic, so I don't know. I didn't whisper, but I spoke on a lower voice, and normally I think you could tell. You know what? I'm going to let you guys hear that. I've still got this mic, the Rode microphone connected. So what I'm going to... Ooh, good point. You know what? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable this microphone, and I'm going to turn that one on, and let me know what you think of the sound difference, okay? So get ready. You know what? Let's go to the Q&A before I do that. Because I know Khan is here and he needs to know. All right. So now I'm going to turn this microphone off and I'm going to switch over to the Rode NT USB microphone. Now tell me, are you noticing any difference between the two microphones, between the microphone I was just doing throughout this whole live stream and this microphone that I'm speaking through right now? Did you notice any differences? And now I'm going to whisper in this microphone, and I want to see if you guys... I'm going to whisper in this microphone now, and I want to see if you guys hear me clearly when I'm whispering, or if you don't. Do you hear... Fireboy says it's loud. It's a bit high-pitched. Your voice is calmer on the new one. The last one you had used has so much... Billy says the last one I used. Do you mean the new one? This one I use has so much hiss, or this one, the Rode microphone? Wow, it's a lot louder. Is it clearer though? It's louder, but is it clearer? You can't... Subject 19 says you can't hear if you whisper though. Zayden says I definitely can hear you. It's more sensitive, says I Hate Anime. No, the other you switched to. Oh, this one I switched to has so much hiss. Interesting. I wonder if there's a setting that I can use to... Like, is there a filter I can use to, like, remove the noise? Let me see. Okay, let me add a noise suppression. How's that? Do you notice any difference? Is there no noise now? Oh, you don't hear it anymore. Okay, that's good, because I just added a filter. I just added a filter. Nope, it's all good. So did that little thing I just did it actually work for the better? Did it actually fix the noise problem? Very good. So did it fix... Yeah, I take it did fix the problem, right? You all say yes. Maybe very, very slightly, but it's barely noticeable. Okay, if it's very slight, let me increase the slider. Oops, no, that's not what I meant to do. Let me increase the slider and see if you guys notice now. Okay, I'm going to take the suppression level to 25. Now tell me, is the hiss completely gone now? There you go. That was some silence. Is the hiss gone in the microphone? Sounds good. Okay, that's good. That's one thing that we've done. So when I send this back, this microphone, we've actually improved the sound. So that's good. I wonder if there's other filters that I can add to improve the quality. Expander, compressor. Yeah, I should look into that later. Because I did add something to make it louder. Because I remember when I was starting doing these live streams, you guys said it was not loud enough. So I increased the volume. I think that brought up the background noise, but now I've suppressed that. So that's good. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the new microphone now, and then let me know what you think when I switch back from this microphone to the new one that I bought. So, with that test done, what do you guys think? Do you think this one sounds better than the previous one, or do you think the previous one sounded better once I put in that background noise canceller? Anime says, okay, the new one sounds better. Hello, Eric. How's your weekend? Both are good. I like the new one. I think this new one sounds better, says Billy. The new one is better. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to whisper now again. Now tell me, when I'm whispering, do you guys hear me? Because with the other microphone, you guys said you couldn't hear me when I was whispering. But now that I'm whispering with this one, is the sound level still at a good level to where you can still hear me as if I'm speaking louder? Wow. Khan says, I don't think the new one is better. It feels a lot smoother. I don't think the new one is better. It feels a lot smoother and there is no high pitch to it. Do you mean it does feel better? Oh, no worries, Sarah. Thank you very much for joining the stream. And sorry for the mic test. I'm just trying this out, seeing what you guys think. When we do our next watch party a week from now, when we watch Chicken Run, I'll be using this microphone when I speak to you guys then as well. So, but yeah, it was great seeing you again, Sarah. Look forward to seeing you for the Chicken Run watch party, 9 p.m. BST next Sunday. I don't know the time from where you are. You have to look at your time zone, but we'll be watching then, same time as we did Monster House a couple of weeks ago and Coraline last week. So take care, Sarah. Thank you very much for joining the stream, and have a great sleep. Take care. Okay, let me read what you guys were saying. When you put them side by side, I can hear the differences. Anime. Thoughts on the new South Park episode about AI videos? I've not seen the new South Park episode yet, so I can't comment on it. I can hear you when you're whispering with this one, says Subject 17. That's good. Billy says that he likes your voice sounding cracked and squirrely, lol. Eric, any chicken places you enjoy eating from? Yeah, Popeyes. We've got recently came to the UK, I think a couple of years ago now, but that's fairly recently, and I've enjoyed them. Prices are crazy, but when they have some good prices going, I get a wrap from them, and they're pretty nice. What good film list are you going to put from this year? I can't tell you that. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna tell you that. Some movies I still haven't seen yet. I need to watch them to see if they go on the list, but I can't just give that away. Nice try though. Oh, take care, Fireboy. So I have to go. See you in 2 weeks. No problem, buddy. We'll see you then. If you do want to watch Chicken Run with us on the watch party next week for Thanksgiving, then all you got to do is head on over to Patreon, and then you can do so. Thanks for joining, bud. I'll miss seeing you. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Oh, cool, Charleston. You're getting close to finishing season 4. Nice. Okay, so I'm glad that you guys like the sound of this microphone. So, guys, which microphone is better then? This previous one or the new one? Which one do you prefer? That's the last question I have. It's next week, G Gamer. It's every Sunday, isn't it? 10 Rex says the new. By the way, 10 Rex, you asked me if I played the King Kong 2005 game. I did. I played a bit of the DS version, which was crap, and I returned it. Got a new game instead. I think I got Spider-Man 3 back in the day. I played King Kong a bit on the PSP. It was okay. Um, and I remember playing the demo a lot in the store, where you play a level of the human and a level of King Kong fighting the dinosaurs. I played King Kong level, of course. Um, okay, let's see. What did you guys say about the microphone? This new one's better. The new microphone is better. 10 Rex Rohan think it's better. G Gamer says this one. Angel Cruz says new one. Josh Man says the new microphone looks a lot better. It definitely looks a lot better. Yeah, for sure. Definitely the new microphone. Khan says I meant to say the new one is a lot better. Oh, right. Okay, that's great. Yeah, because you said the other. You mentioned the other before. Let me read your previous message then, knowing now. I think the new one is better. It feels a lot smoother and there is no high pitch to it. Okay. And this is not even the best sounding. If I get an audio interface, it'll sound even better. The thing is, I can't afford one right now. It keeps going back to that. That's the situation. So I can't keep it, which is the unfortunate thing. Because, you know, if you like it, that's great. I'm glad that you like it. But on the plus side, for the next few weeks, if you're on my Discord and on my Patreon, sorry, on my Discord and a subscriber to my channel, and you come to these live streams, for the next, we're in November, for the rest of November, the rest of December, and a good amount of January, we will be using this microphone, not only for live streams and Discords and watch parties, and video calls when I do video calls with you guys on Discord every other Sunday, but also, you'll be hearing this microphone in my videos as well. Do you know the outro of my Predator Badlands review? The whole Predator review was recorded with my previous microphone, but then I used this microphone to film the outro when I said thanks for watching, please subscribe and all that. I then used this. So if you like my voice, that's great. Yeah. Eric, is there a movie so bad that you left and got a refund? I considered it with the movie Flatliners, which I did a versus video of, and I think I mentioned that in my versus video. I actually said I considered leaving, but I had to do that video, so I didn't. But yeah. Anime said I sent a message on the Discord that automatically changes the time depending on the time zone. Did you? Let's see. You sent a message on the Discord that changes. Oh, cool. Update depending on your time zone. Oh, so for every member on the Discord, they'll see the other time zone. That's cool, that is. I wish I could do that with the actual schedule, because I've got the time on the watch party listing right now, but I've just, you know, haven't set it yet. I didn't think you could change it like that. Oh yeah, Flatliners and also Craven the Hunter. That doesn't surprise me. If I saw Madam Web, I wonder if I would have felt the same. That's okay, Connor. Connor says, how you doing, Eric? I'm doing very good. He says, I watched Stranger Things Season 4, and you'll not agree, but for me, it's the best season by far. Buddy, I'm really glad that you enjoy it. I am, genuinely. I just couldn't get through it. Although, I will say, I had food a couple days ago, and I wanted to watch something on Netflix. But all the shows I usually watch as my comfort show, just while I'm eating my food or my dinner, I was like, I don't know what to watch though. I was like, what can I watch? What can I watch? What can I watch? And I was like, I don't want to watch any of my usual comfort shows. I just didn't feel like watching any. And I was like, but I got to watch something. My food's getting cold here. And I ended up going on Stranger Things. I thought, all right, let's just pop into season 1. And I kind of skim watched every episode. I skipped some scenes, but I watched a lot of the others. And the same with season 2. Now I'm on season 3, and I'm thinking I might go through season 4 again. I didn't end up making a video for season 4 because I would have had so much to say. But Will, he bothered the heck out of me. He's supposed to be like Elle's older brother, essentially. And I'm the elder brother of siblings, and including 2 sisters. And one thing that you guys probably don't know about me is that when I see an elder brother doing a horrible job at protecting his younger siblings, and the same with adults, doing a horrible job of protecting young kids, because when as being the elder sibling, I had to look after my younger brothers and sisters, especially my youngest brother, when he was a young baby, basically, and I was older. And it is a sore point for me when I see these other kids around my age who are so stupid and do not look after their own siblings. That is a point that usually gets me quite red. I get angry about it. And Will, what he did to Eleven in Stranger Things season 4, he really got on my nerves. He got me angry, I remember. Wes Craven or John Carpenter, says Angel Cruz. Wes Craven. Big Bash says, did you enjoy Will Cry, Eric? No, I didn't. I thought he was a big wuss in that. He was crying for so many episodes. Will I do the Fantastic Four versus video next year? We'll see. I need to watch the new one again. Thing is, I had such a great time doing the Carrie versus video. I felt creatively fulfilled. Usually I'm chasing the latest movie, but everyone's covering the latest movie. But I really enjoyed covering a movie that I wanted to talk about, like Carrie. Had a lot of fun with that. Uh, there's another versus video that I'm going to be doing, which is about 2 movies from my childhood, animated movies, and I want to cover those too. And then there's another movie, which is a 3-way versus video about 3 movies from my childhood, which I also want to cover. And then there's another animated movie from my childhood, which had another animated movie a few years ago, or was it 7 years ago now? I don't know. And I want to do a versus video of that too. I really enjoy those. And I do feel a bit strapped down sometimes when I have to do verses for brand new movies that everyone else is covering. So we'll see. I want to see if I can try to mix it up, but I will try to get to it at some point eventually. Do you have Apple TV? No, I don't. My brother does, though, but I don't really use it. Yeah, Shin Godzilla is a great movie, Logman. A great, great movie. Khan says, oh, I definitely want to see that Stranger Things Season 4 review. The Time Shadow, he really wanted me to do a Stranger Things Season 4 review as well. But the episodes are so damn long, man. The final episode of Season 4 is 2 hours and 30 minutes. All the episodes were like twice as long as normal as well. So it's insane. All because Will had a crush on Mike. Yeah, that was so weird. And how he says that Elle feels like this about you indirectly when he's speaking to Mike about it. I hope they don't have Mike dump Elle to go be a couple with Will. Like, I hope they don't write that shit. That would be bad if they did that. Big Bastard, what's the age gap between me and my siblings? Just a couple years. I think the biggest age gap is 9 years with my youngest brother. And then the others are all like 1.5, 3, 4, basically like that. So yeah, not very far off. It's the youngest one. He's the most far off. Big Bastard Eric, is there a movie you looked forward to seeing, but numerous amounts of delays killed the hype for you? I think there was. I think The Flash was one of them. Was that getting delayed so many times? And I was like, this is just getting tired. I know there was another one as well. We were talking about the amount of times it was getting delayed, and it was like, will the movie ever come out? Do you guys remember what it was? We were talking about a movie that got delayed so many times, and we were saying, is it even going to come out? Do you guys remember what that was? I don't think it was Beyond the Spider-Verse. I think it was a movie that did eventually come out, but we were wondering when will it? And then I think the movie didn't end up being very good either. No, you guys are talking about movies that haven't come out. I'm talking about movies that now have come out. This movie, whatever it was, it has come out now. Was it Morbius? That did Morbius? Yeah, Morbius did get delayed for a while, didn't it? And then it ended up being terrible anyway. Might have been Morbius. I think it might have been Morbius. I don't think it's Elio. I think it's a movie that I covered as well. Yeah, New Mutants. That was it. New Mutants. New Mutants. Charlton, you got it. That was it. That was one where it was getting delayed over and over and over and over again. I think we were all at first intrigued by that first trailer, which was like superhero crossed over with horror. And we were like, wow, Fox is doing some really good stuff. Deadpool, they did an R-rated comedy. Logan, they did an R-rated western. And now they're doing like what looks like it'll be a horror movie. We thought that Fox was doing an amazing job. And I remember that was the movie that was just taking ages. Forever and ever and ever. No, Brave New World was more due to COVID, I think, delays, and then of course they did reshoots, but that was more, Another delay, but it was not the delay I'm talking about. Yeah, New Mutants, that was the one. That was the one that there were so many delays that I got tired of it. And then when it came out, I was like, all right, I'll watch it, but geez, I'm not in the same like happy mood like I was before. Yeah, Con New Mutants was basically two movies smushed into one that didn't work. It was part horror movie in a facility, which I liked. Then it was like, was it 12 Reasons? Not 12 Reasons Why. No, A Fault in Our Stars, that anime, not that animated, Fault in Our Stars, that romantic movie, that young adult movie. It was basically combining those two films, and the two did not mesh. I liked the horror movie better than the romantic movie, which just did not work. Ed says, "Hey Eric, would you do a versus video for Wreck It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet?" Back in the day when the movie Ralph Breaks the Internet came out, I considered it, and I was actually writing it, but I never finished it. The same with The Mummy versus Tom Cruise's The Mummy. I was going to do a versus on that too, and I never finished that either. It just, it's sad, but sometimes the versus videos, I just run out of, um, I just, I sometimes the versus videos, like, you just lose that motivation. It's like you just lose that spark that you had. That's the sad part of it, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say. I wish I could have made those versus videos, but they never came around. Anime says, I watched The Running Man last Wednesday and thought it was all right. High 6 out of 10 for me. That's a shame because I've not watched any trailer or anything. Um, I've not watched nothing at all for. I've not watched anything at all for Running Man. No trailer reaction, no trailers, no nothing. Even when I went to go see Predator Badlands recently in the cinema, the trailer was showing up on the big screen. I was like, oh god, I've been staying away from it this whole time. Why are you showing me the trailer? So I had to look down and just not look. I heard everything, but I wasn't looking at nothing. And because it was Edgar Wright and he's not really made a bad movie per se so far, I was like, all right, maybe this will be a good one to just avoid the trailers and watch. But everyone who's watched it is all saying it's just not as good as it should have been. And it's one of Edgar Wright's least good movies. And I'm like, oh, such a shame. I did such a good job of staying away from all the trailers too. Yes, I did. Ed, I did know they were making a Jumanji for. Dwayne Johnson mentioned it when he was doing promotion for the Smashing Machine. So yeah, I am aware that that's happening. Angel Cruz says it flopped hard at the box office and Edgar Wright was bad. His worse. Aya Anime says my next movie is either Now You See Me 3 or Wicked for Good. Hmm. Nice. Robin says, have you seen the live action Scooby Doo movies that were written by James Gunn? I have. I saw them when I was a kid. The first one came out in, I think 2002, was it? I was 7 when it came out. Uh, and yeah, I did not like it. I did not like it. I liked a couple scenes in it, but I didn't like the whole movie. I didn't like its humor. I didn't like how weird the characters were. And I especially did not like what they did to Scrappy in that. That was so bad. And I don't know what James Gunn was thinking with that. But hey, it made a shit ton of money. And that was one of the things that did very good for James Gunn's career. And then the second movie I actually enjoyed a lot better. I think they did it a lot better. But still, those were not very good ideas. And I don't know where the idea came from that James Gunn said at the time they were going to do an R-rated Scooby-Doo movie. Like, I'm like, wait, what? Why? Like, it makes sense to make a live-action Scooby-Doo movie for kids, but to make it rated R back then, for them to consider talking about that, so bizarre to me. And they wanted to do a lesbian thing with lesbian romance with Velma and Daphne, which I never knew that was a thing to begin with. That was like this running joke that people did, which then they eventually took seriously. I never knew that was a thing. It's so weird. Like, I just don't get these people sometimes. I mean, it's just so bizarre. I never even thought that of making couples out of those two. It was always Daphne and Fred all the time. I did love the Halloween movie though, the horror film of Scooby Doo. That had some dark imagery. One of the scariest things I've seen in any horror movie was actually in that movie. I don't know, Tenrex. Velma just seems like it has nothing to do with Scooby Doo at all. Ed says, what's your favorite 2010s cartoons? Do you mean TV shows or just animated movies? Because I'd say the first How to Train Your Dragon, because that was I loved the first How to Train Your Dragon movie. Jess says, be cool, Scooby Doo is a terrible show. Scooby Doo is a great show, it just depends which one you watch, because I know they made multiple different versions. Joshua says, Eric, I was asking you a question. Are you nervous and worried that Disney's going to screw up Zootopia 2? Well, I wasn't at first, because I hadn't seen Zootopia in a long time, but then we watched it a few weeks ago for the watch party over on my Discord. And watching it again, I really did enjoy it. And then I was like, oh boy, they're going to mess up the sequel, aren't they? I hope they don't. We'll see what happens. The one plus is that they did not make this movie as a straight to Disney Plus movie first and then put it out on, then put it in theaters like they did with Moana 2 and with Lilo and Stitch, the remake. This was a movie that was designed and meant to be made on the big screen. So it was always meant to be a movie from the very beginning. So I don't think they can mess up this particular movie. So they should have their best foot forward, I'm saying, with this. Mystery Inc. Was that the scary one? The one that was apparently darker or something? That's what I've heard, I think. I think that's that one. Big Bash, I tried to watch an episode or two of Adventure Time, but nah, it was just too weird. And I was like, I don't have the time to get invested into this, so no. If I want to watch those kinds of shows, I'll watch Billy and Mandy. I'll watch Ed, Ed and Eddie, Dexter's Laboratory, Robot Boy, Camp Lazlo, Hi Hi Puffy Yami Yumi. Like, there's so much great classical cartoons I can go back to rather than watching Adventure Time and all this stuff. Do I still not hate the Pinocchio remake, says Tenrex? I've not seen the Pinocchio remake since I made that Versus video, so I don't know I've not gotten any new input. Whatever I said in that Versus video is basically my thoughts to this day, so that's my updated thoughts. So if you want to know my thoughts now, go back to that video, my thoughts have remained the same. Mystery Incorporated Scooby-Doo used to creep me out, but not as much as the live-action movie, says Charleston. How much darker was that Scooby-Doo animated show, the Mystery Incorporated one? Because I've heard people say it actually got a lot darker. I'm very curious, how much darker did it get? Tenrex says, name some cancelled videos you had. I think I just did. So, I cancelled The Mummy versus Tom Cruise's Mummy. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph versus Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. I also cancelled Scooby-Doo 3 versus 4, because I think that was what I was going to do when the fourth movie came out. I even remember I have memories of being in Subway, having a Subway and having a meal there while writing my script. And I actually liked the script, but ultimately it just didn't come together in the end, and I moved on to other projects. I'm sure there's plenty of others that I didn't do, and there are some that I'll just put on hold, but I do want to make. So, yeah, there's a lot that's been going on. Yeah, Mr. Bean was the big twist. Yes, Khan, I did watch The Good Boy. I watched it. I actually thought it was a good movie, but I didn't like the ending. And I think that movie broke me, The Good Boy. It broke me because I don't like how they just keep doing these endings where everything kind of goes to shit. It's like we normally say that there's the Hollywood ending where they wrap everything up with a bow, but I think the other extreme is watching these horror movies when they just have the characters lose in such a way to where it's like yeah, there's putting a bow on everything and making it overly perfect, but then there's the opposite extreme, which is what I feel like a lot of these horror movies do, and that really bugged me. I was like, if you made this a happier ending, I would have felt like we went through a journey, and it would have felt like there was a light at the end of the tunnel for that journey. But the way the journey ends, it was like, well, I'm never going to watch that again, and it kind of made me feel like shit when it was over. So I did not like what they did there. Yeah, anime, it's that dog horror movie, yeah. So yeah, that movie's kind of broken me in terms of these endings. I don't like those crappy endings that they do. Khan says understandable, but I'm glad you watched it. Yeah, I'm kind of glad. I'm glad I watched it too. I watched it on my projector over here actually with the Vision Master Pro 2 projector that I reviewed. I watched it on that. Me and my brother both did. My brother hated it. He said he just really didn't like it. Me, I was like, the movie itself is fine. It's actually pretty decent, but it was the ending that ruined it for me personally. How was your rewatch on Coraline? Says Josh, man. It was really good. We all watched it. We all had a great time. We all had a chat about the movie after we finished watching it. It was a really good time. I had a really fun time watching that. Yeah, and I essentially gave a mini review on the watch party as well. So yeah, 10 Rex. The ending is confusing as well. It doesn't really make sense. Ed says, "What would you do to fix the Fantastic Four first steps, Eric?" Well, a big thing that I would do. I've not seen Paranorman Big Bash. I want to see it though, but I haven't. The first thing I would do, Ed, is I would add some humor into it, but not the crappy Marvel humor, but the humor that was done in the original two Fantastic Four movies that had Chris Evans in. I'd put some humor into it. I'd do a better job with the casting because I think the casting was not good enough, and I would also make the story seem. I'd populate it more because there's no governments in the Fantastic Four movie. There's just the press and the Fantastic Four, but there's no governments forcing the hand of the Fantastic Four saying that you need to give your baby up, otherwise our planet will get destroyed. At least in James Gunn Superman, there was a political system in place, but there doesn't seem to be one in this. There doesn't seem to be a political system in place in Fantastic Four, the First Steps film. So there's a lot I would do to improve it. And also, I felt like it copied a lot of the same beats from Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. So many beats, even with that fake out death scene towards the end. And with the way Galactus was taken out, I was like, so many copy and paste beats from that movie. G Gamer says, "Is there any movies that make you hungry, as in hungry for food? Like, for example, Ratatouille makes me hungry." Yeah, Ratatouille can make you hungry. What makes me hungry is that there's a movie called The Man that has Samuel L. Jackson in it, and I think Eugene Levi, if I got his name correct. Uh, there's a moment where he goes, "I'm hungry," and Samuel Jackson's like, "You'll live." Then he goes, "No, no, no, I'm really hungry." Then he goes, Samuel Jackson's like, "Come on, man." Then he goes, "No, my blood sugar is low, and I'm feeling faint. I haven't eaten all day. I would like some food." And then Samuel Jackson's like, "All right, I'll get you a burger." And then the other guys go like, "I'd rather get something else." And he goes, "It's a tasty burger." And then he goes, "Red meat quite often doesn't agree with me." And then it cuts to a burger being made, and it looks really nice and juicy. And when he eats it, I was like, I feel like a burger. So that movie always made me feel like eating. And there's also and I think I just quoted the dialogue of that entire little scene right there. So I watched that scene a lot when I was younger. And another burger scene, actually, another burger scene that I really enjoyed was in the terminal with Tom Hanks when he's eating that burger, those burgers. Like again, that also makes you feel like eating a burger. So two stuff about burgers, funnily. I'm sure there's other movies, but that's the two that really come to mind. Uh Khan says, "Did you watch any of the recent episodes of Welcome to Dairy?" I have. I watched episode 3. I'm writing my review on it. It's almost done. But I thought instead of reviewing it weekly, I thought, why not I just review it every 2 weeks? So I'll review just like I did episodes 1 and 2, I'll do episodes 3 and 4. I thought let's try to do that. Big Bash, I have seen Django Unchained. Um I liked it. I think I gave it like a 7 out of 10 or an 8. I think I gave it a 7 if I think back. I'll say a 7, high 7. Ed said the ending to Fantastic Four First Steps reminded me of the classic Disney film where a character first dies but then comes back to life by magic or something. Yeah, except this was the first movie. I'm like, do you seriously think you're fooling anyone? You're not fooling no one, Disney. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm not falling for this. And if anyone's upset about it, I don't know how they could be because it's clear this is not going to stick. Jess says, "Hi Eric, are you looking for hunger? If you're Are you looking for hunger, then go to Hell's Kitchen. You will go insane for their foods and their lamb sauce." Uh Kitchen Nightmares actually makes me feel more hungry for food than Hell's Kitchen because you see some food at the beginning that Ramsey eats. Uh just the way sometimes certain food is, even if it doesn't taste good, sometimes it can look all right. But then Ramsey always comes in with his menu later on, his revised and perfected menu that he gives them, and that always looks very nice. And then whenever you watch customers eating and they always say the same thing, that's really good. It's just makes you feel a bit hungry too. Eric, can you explain the biggest difference between UK and American films? Well, I'd say UK films, they're always shot on smaller budgets. They don't have as much bigger budgets as American films do. The characters are also not speaking American. They're speaking in British, like in their British. Why am I not struggling to get this word out? Oh, maybe it's because 1 a.m. right now. They always struggle to get their not struggle. No, no. I'm struggling. They always speak in their British accents. They also have anime says it great right there. They got superior humor. They definitely have superior humor. Just watch their sitcoms. The BBC or the UK, we had the best sitcoms. I love Fresh Prince and I love Friends. I love Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon. They do not come close to the sitcoms that came out in the UK, like Blackadder, Mr. Bean, Red Dwarf, Only Fools and Horses, which is a classic. We also had intelligent ones like Yes Minister and Yes Prime Minister, where they make politics so funny and they'd send jabs at our politics and our political systems. I actually shared one of those jokes, I think, on my Instagram on the story there. If you follow my Instagram, I'll try to look for it and I'll try to share it later today or tomorrow. So head on over and you'll see. But yeah, the Britain is amazing when it comes to these kinds of jokes and comedy and everything. 28 Days Later is a British film. Yep. The Mr. Bean movie, I love the Mr. Bean movie as well. Mr. Bean's Holiday was all right. The movie was amazing. I loved that movie. Electrify, I don't know. I've never read the UK movie scripts to compare them to American scripts. But you can tell they've got their own style to them, these British movies. I mean, Edgar Wright, he's a Brit, and he made Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. Those three movies are also very different to American movies, Hot Fuzz being my favorite of his three films. It's Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and then The World's End, which The World's End was good, but it was definitely the least good. Oh, Jess, yes, I have seen the British cartoon Hard Henry. That was great. Loved Hard Henry as a kid. We used to read the books too, and we used to rent them from the library. I remember we used to book them and rent them. Big Bash says, thoughts on the Johnny English movies? The first one, nothing special. Had some funny moments, but nothing special. It was all right. Second one, love the second one. We really do love the second one. It's hilarious. Me and my brother, my siblings, we did not expect it to be so funny, but it was. Third one, I think was okay. I can't even remember the third one really. Second one was great though. It even had the actor that was in Get Out. He was in that. Never knew. Hot Fuzz has a horror element. It does, a slasher element. When that came in, I was like, what the hell is happening? Because nothing about it seemed like it was a horror movie. It was just supposed to be a comedy about cops, and then all of a sudden you have this slasher element that shows up with a hooded figure and like super crazy violence. And a town that was also crazy, saying, wait a minute, you saying this is not an accident? Hilarious. Yeah, I remember seeing Big Bash says, yeah, Shaun of the Dead on DVD. I remember actually seeing the trailer for Hot Fuzz on this other DVD that we had that had a bunch of trailers on it back in the day. And I saw it, I was like, there's something that looks kind of fake and cheap about this. Is when the zombie walks into their living room and they scream. It was that one. What about The Office? I never seen The Office. I've never watched it. Have I seen the leak? Rohan says, have you seen the leak trailer for Daredevil Born Again Season 2, New York Comic Con? I've seen the full leak trailer on YouTube. I think it's good, but I'll have to see when I watch it. I've seen the leaked, but it wasn't, you can barely see anything. I think one of you shared it with me on my Discord server. Might have been Jess, I think. Can't remember. But one of you shared it on my Discord server, and that's where I watched it. There were like two versions of it. One was covered the whole time. The other one was covered for half the trailer. Then you could kind of make out the rest of it, where Jessica Jones shows up. That was kind of cool. But don't worry, you should get a trailer anytime now about Daredevil because it's coming out, was it March or April, Season 2? So, yeah, you'll get it. Movie King, you shared the trailer. Yep. Yeah, thanks for sharing it, by the way. I actually had a look at it, and yeah, it was cool. I'm still, you know me, I still have no faith in it. I don't think Disney are smart with the writers they hire, so we'll see what they do. One thing I realized that's good about this microphone is if I speak in a lower tone, you guys will still hear me, so I don't have to worry about the sound But when I'm doing late live streams at night, I don't have to worry that you guys won't hear my voice. You will hear it because I can speak very quietly. I can even do SMR style voiceovers. And the sound bar on my microphone on the computer says that my voice is still being heard. So there's a lot more range you get with this microphone, whereas before I had to speak at a level. I had to speak on a level with the other microphone to where it's like everyone in the room could hear me and you could hear me. But now I can be much more quiet. So I do like what this microphone is doing, but again, I can't afford to keep the mic. So that's why I say your donations always help, and those donations, they always go towards the show. So if you like this mic, I can invest in a microphone like this, and I can actually invest in a sounds, what do they call it? The sound system that you plug the XLR input in, so I can make this, that will make this sound even better. This thing, this doohickey right there. So yeah. That's why I say anytime there's any donations, it really does help because it means I get to get equipment like this. Big Bash says, do an entire review in ASMR. You want me to do that? I don't know what I would do that. And if you want, I was just thinking, could you imagine if someone commissioned that you do an ASMR review? If anyone wants me to do an ASMR review, you can commission that if you want. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Like, that's going to be a weird one. But, yeah, that's that's an option for you. You know what? If someone commissions a quick movie review, I think that'll pay for this microphone. I can pay the rest myself, and I think that'll pay for it. So, yeah, if you guys, that's not the only option, and I'm not holding that over any of you. I'm just saying, like, that's just how it would. 10 Rex says ASMR, Eric. Joshua says, Eric, I was asking you another question. Can you please answer? Where is your question? Let's see. Oh, there it is. Eric, I was asking you another question. Which Pixar movie do you think is worse, Toy Story 4 or Lightyear? Because for me, Lightyear was Phil the brand with wokeness, and it absolutely ruined Lightyear by far. Lightyear resembled nothing of Toy Story. It felt like a completely separate Space Ranger movie that they just decided to slap the Toy Story branding on because they thought no one was going to watch it otherwise. So yeah. Oh, take care then, Ed. He says, see you in the next live video. Goodbye. Take care, bud. If you want to join the watch party next week, we're going to be doing a chicken run watch party over on my Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, that's the one you have to go for, and you can join the Discord and the watch party. We can all chat about the movie after we've seen it as well. So that option is there if you want to participate and join in that. But thanks for watching, bud. Appreciate it. Big Bash says, is there a time where you were recording a video and it was so loud your family told you to stop? No, because I know when I can record a video, when I can't. My mum did tell me once the next day that she could hear me, but I think it was urgent. I had to actually get the recording done at that point. So I had to do it then. So I told her, I was like, yeah, I know that was unfortunate, but I really had to get it done quick. Although I did take this when I did my Snow White review, not the versus video, but the review when the movie came out. I used this. This is the Zoom H1 Essential Handy Recorder. I used this, and I actually went downstairs, went to our laundry room, and that whole review was recorded with this thing. I put the little pop filter on here to stop the pops and clicks. And yeah, I used this to record that video, so if you want to know what the sound of this was like, check out that video, and I put some sound filters onto it to make it sound better. Do I like Thunderbolts as Subject 17? I thought it was decent. Like, I think I would say it was decent when I saw it in theaters, but when you reflect on it, not so much. I don't like it too much, particularly. Joshman says, Eric, I do agree with you, not about Toy Story 4. I do agree with you about Toy Story 4. It was not necessary. I did not enjoy myself while rewatching it this year. Toy Story 3 is far better than Toy Story 4. I agree, bud. G-Gamer says, Toy Story 3 is my favorite of the 4 movies. It's my favorite of the 4 movies as well. So, yeah. If I was going to do a versus video, now you know what I would think of Toy Story 3. Which one's the best? Eric, what is your favorite Christmas classics? Home Alone, Home Alone 2, Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh, what was the one? The black and white one. It's a classic. A Great Wonderful World? What was it? where the guy loses black and white. The guy loses all the money, and then in the end, he's given all the money during Christmas. What was that called? I've not seen Nosferatu yet, Robin. Unfortunately, wonderful. It's a Wonderful Life. That was it. It's a Wonderful Life. I liked that. That was really good. Not seen The Long Walk yet. Have I seen Fixed yet? No, I've still not seen that yet either. I still haven't seen Arcane Season 2, which I have to see. And Gen V Season 2 is done. I still have to watch that. Afro says, hey, Eric, while we're on the subject, you've watched Muppets Christmas Carol. Muppets Christmas Carol I found very boring as a kid, but I loved the opening song number. And then I watched a little bit beyond that, and then I used to be done. I found it quite boring, but I have been curious. I have wanted to watch that as an adult now, especially because Michael Caine is the one playing Ebenezer Scrooge. That's quite cool. Movie King, so I'm going to go eat now, Eric. You enjoy yourself, and I'll see you next week in the Discord call. No problem, bud. I look forward to seeing you on the watch party on Discord. And we're going to end the stream now anyway, because it's over 2 hours, and usually 2 hours is the limit. But I just had a great time chatting with you guys. You watch Violent Night every Christmas. That's cool, anime. Okay, guys, this was an absolutely great time. Really appreciate your donations. As always, it really helps support the channel. And yeah, had an absolutely fabulous time. Thank you for giving me feedback on this microphone. Like I said, you're going to be hearing this microphone with a lot of the videos I'm going to be making over the next couple of months. So I hope you enjoy. Please do donate. Any donations you do, whether it's through the link on Streamlabs, that's on the pinned comment section and in the description, especially if you donate through that, or Patreon, you are donating to help the show. So if you want me to keep using this microphone in future for future videos and future live streams, if I get enough donations, then yeah, I guess I could keep it, because like I said, on my own, I can't afford this right now, but your donations would help for that, and it would all go towards the show. And based on this live stream, it seems like it would go towards the show in a way that you guys really actually prefer. So yeah, it would all definitely help. And with that said, I look forward to seeing you guys on the Discord call next month. Sorry, not next month. Sorry, next week. Next month as well, but next week we're going to be watching Chicken Run. In fact, bear with me. Window capture. Do I have it? Yes, I do. Here, check this out. Here is the Discord. And do you see right over here? Right here. Watch party for Chicken Run. This is going to be slated for 9 p.m. next week, the next Sunday. We're not going to be doing a live stream next Sunday. We're going to be doing this on Sunday. If you want to join, you can click this, but no one's in here right now because it's empty. But if you want to join the watch party, all you got to do is go to the $10 perk right over here on my Patreon, and then when you gain access to my private Discord server, you can jump in right over here, click into that, and on the day we can all watch Chicken Run together. So with that said, thank you guys very much for your continued support. Thank you very much for joining the live stream. I had an absolute blast. And I hope you've enjoyed the videos. Please do watch my recent videos if you haven't, including the Carrie versus video, which has become my favorite versus video of all time that I have made. And I just showed it to my family recently, and they loved it too. My sister in particular, who came to visit, she actually gave the video a 10 out of 10, which is surprising coming from her. And she said she didn't think it felt as long as it was. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. I'll catch all of you next time. Take care. Oh, thank you, Big Bash, for watching the Carrie video today. I appreciate it. Please do share it and click that hype button as well. That really would help. This is kind of creepy, isn't it, when you don't see me but hear me? Hold on. There. Thank you, Big Bash, for watching it. And please do hit that hype button below the video. YouTube have got a new hype feature. I don't know how it works, but apparently it really does help. And share it if you can. That would be greatly appreciated, because like I said, I spent so much time working on it. I would like as much people to watch it as possible. Yeah, anyway, great seeing you guys again. I look forward to seeing you next week on the watch party. Take care.